Cities are always thinking about managing their ecology, their economy, the social infrastructure. I think because of the incredible urbanization that's happening, 50% of the world now lives in cities, and that's going to grow to 3/4 by 2050. There's a lot more challenges. So I think cities are working to be smart. To be smarter, they're leveraging technology in a few critical ways, I think, to meet with this challenge. The first is that leveraging technology to take the infrastructure of city management. How do you manage your finances, your budgeting process, your procurement process? Driving a lot of the innovation that's happened in the private and other public sector organizations into city government, so that city is in a much better position to be able to tackle some of these challenges and can be much smarter, right? The second thing is to take some of these challenges to be smart and take a look at finding ways to leverage technology to innovate in managing things like congestion and traffic, climate change and pollution, right? And also managing the health and well-being of citizens, including their safety. A lot of cities have a very, very basic need, which is to reduce their service delivery costs and their infrastructure. And I think in that area, we're working with cities and leading cities like Birmingham in the UK, one of the largest local authorities in Europe, who's taken out 1.2 billion euro in terms of the cost of their infrastructure by using SAP, and at the same time improved their service delivery to their citizens by providing kind of call centers and numbers to interact more seamlessly with their citizens. So I think, on the one hand, we've got cities like Birmingham that are trying to do that, right? And then we also have many cities that are leveraging SAP to tackle some of the new and more challenging situations around things like public safety or around congestion, right? And around healthcare and education. If you take a look at public safety and security, of course, we're working with some cities in terms of thinking about a holistic infrastructure, right? But some local municipalities like Victoria in Australia are using SAP for a very pragmatic, kind of a pragmatic problem, which is to prepare communities for emergencies and disasters. They want to be in very, very good communications with their citizens. And so they're actually leveraging SAP to communicate with their citizens and prepare them, increase their preparedness, educate them and prepare them and communicate with them during emergency situations. And so I think that's a really good example of somebody taking a very pragmatic and very highly valuable approach and making an impact without having to look at the big infrastructure. And we also have municipalities and cities and states that are looking at the congestion around their cities, leveraging maybe some investment they've made in video cameras on the streets in terms of tolls and new roads, and taking SAP like Austria, Aspinag, taking SAP to create an intelligent free-flow toll collection system that reduces and has reduced congestion and has also increased state revenue. Cities like Mumbai can take advantage of these technologies. So in fact, in one of the areas we talked about, which is sustainable city administration, Mumbai is a very good SAP customer that leverages that investment, not just in kind of managing the financials and some of the core functions for Mumbai, but allows them to put a lot of their services online and be able to tackle some of the very, very challenging situations that they have. By moving a lot of these services online, I think they have a lot of more opportunity to reach more citizens. So I think they can, but of course the situation is different. I think the real opportunity for cities in India, for example, is to take a lot of these learnings and some of these examples of what's happening in developing nations, and essentially leapfrogging some of these cities in terms of being able to adopt technology to accomplish this goal without having to deal with legacy infrastructure around those single topics. In some ways, they're freer, right? But I agree with you. The priorities are different, and in fact, even in the developing nations, it takes local leadership and also kind of a local priority. And we have a breadth of offerings at SAP. What we end up doing is based on what the desire of the motivation of the city is. I think that's the place to kind of look at where we can make an impact as SAP. So if you look at the topics like how to manage a city, right? I think it is mission critical in terms of these cities are going to have to cope with tremendous change and population growth over time. And to do that by simply improving processes is going to be very, very difficult, right? And so it may be something that's preparing for the future, right? But even in kind of the city administration pieces, it is quite essential. I do think that when you look at some of the mission areas, it does have to be a much more balanced approach. So you do have to spend on the mission areas, and one of the things that I would say to local leaders is to also consider the kinds of capabilities that you're putting in place that allow you to learn and to keep improving in that area. So providing kind of the direct benefit, for example, is so critical. But if you can think about how that direct benefit could be tuned better by using technology to the places that it should go to, and to reduce the overhead costs to, say, distributing benefits out to the citizenry, I think that's also going to pay dividends over time.